when you're trying to film a video and your little sister's like
Don't show me, please.
in the kitchen.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be filming a Q&A for you guys. Now, a while ago, I know it's been a while, but I asked you guys to leave me comments on my Instagram post and I got an overwhelming response. There are many questions to answer, and to be honest, some of them are really similar, so I'm going to try and answer as many questions, mostly the really popular ones, and there's a few of them. So yes, I will be doing that in this video today, and let's get started. So one of my first questions were, what's your favorite Bollywood movie and song? Now this is really difficult for me because if you know me, I'm like Bollywood queen, but till date, I think my favorite Bollywood movie would have to be Ram Leela. It's just way too special and close to my heart, that movie. And there was a phase where I watched it like every day for like 3 months straight. So yeah, Ram Leela for sure is my favorite movie till now. My favorite song, now that's even more difficult because I'm always listening to Bollywood songs. But if I really had to choose one, no, I can't even choose one. So the next question is, how tall are you? Okay, so I am around 5'9", 5 feet 9 inches. That is pretty tall for an average girl, but yeah, life is tough being a tall girl. Okay, now getting on to the really popular questions. One of the most popular question was, has your wedding date been finalized yet? And I would like to tell everyone it has been finalized between my family and my fiance's family, but I don't really want to say it yet. I want it to be more of like, when we get there kind of thing, when I reveal it to you guys. Yeah, because I like the element of surprise, you know, it keeps the crowd going. But yeah, it has been decided and it has been finalized, so that is that. The next question is, how old are you? Now, I am 22 years old currently, and it is my birthday next month, and I'll be 23, and I'll be really old, and I feel really bad, but that's life. The next question is, have you ever thought of fashion or modeling career? You have a great body, girl. Well, firstly, thank you to Amira, I think that's your name. I'm sorry if I pronounce anything wrong. Amira, I think it is. Thank you, darling. But when I was younger, obviously this is like, when you're younger, you have these kind of things. I always wanted to do something in like the modeling line, and I in fact did enter a Miss India Australia competition, and I was in the top 4 for that. But after that, everything really like settled down for me. I wasn't really interested in going down that path, and then I chose to become a teacher instead. Yep, the difference. All right, my next question is actually a really interesting question, and I'm glad someone asked this. You said you're a vegetarian in one of your vlogs, so how will you adjust with your fiance eating meat? I've been dating my fiance for a few years now. I think it's been over 3, almost 4 years, and I've been a vegetarian for a really long time, and he's obviously been a non-vegetarian all his life. We personally, like, as much as he'd love me to eat meat and as much as I'd love him to be a vegetarian, we haven't really ever forced it upon each other. Yeah, he would love for me to join him, but he's never like forced me or said, no, you have to, and I find that really sweet and nice. So he's adjusting, I'm adjusting. So far it's going great. But yeah, I don't think I could ever eat meat again, not because of any like, not necessarily because of a religious aspect or like a personal aspect. I just feel like I couldn't eat it even if I wanted to, like, because it'd make me sick. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm just not a meat eater anymore, so yeah, don't think it will be an issue anyway. Okay, so I also got a lot of questions about my fiance. You know, his good things, his bad things, what his bad habits, what do you like the most about him, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna summarize a bit of everything into one answer. So let's start with the question, what's the one thing that made you choose Himanshu? So the one thing that made me think that, okay, this is it kind of thing, like I'll be fine in life, was just the way he is so caring towards me and my family. I feel like when a boy comes into your life, he really needs to like have an impact in your life. He needs to like emotionally like move you and like show to you and prove to you, not just by words but more actions. And the good thing about him, like you could say it's a good thing, that he doesn't do much talking. He's not a sweet talker. He's more of a action person. Like he shows you, he doesn't say it. Like he'll never sit down and tell me, oh I love you or you're the best. No, like he's probably done that like once in the past 4 years, but he's more of like showing person. Like he'll show me he loves me, he'll do things and like physically show me. And I always thought that I need someone that should always tell me they love me or, you know, tell me they care for me. But no, it's really the actions. Like actions always speak louder than words, and that's one thing that Himanshu does really well. He doesn't do too much talking. He's more like, let me show you how much I love you. So I think that's what really, you know, spoke out to me. And what's the best thing I like about him? It's his humor. Like I can never ever be bored with that kid. He is hilarious. He is super funny. And not that I'm only with him because he's funny or something, but like you always need someone that can make you laugh. Like when I'm having a bad day, even just like he'll say one sentence and it will just brighten up my whole day. He is so funny. He keeps everyone around him happy, and like that's like, I guess, a goal in life, to be happy. Like he completes that goal for everyone, not just me, like everyone. He keeps everyone super happy. Another question related to him is, how do you go such a long time without seeing your fiance? It was initially really hard. It still is really hard. Like currently at this very moment, I'm struggling again. Like I have my good days and bad days, or good weeks and bad weeks. I'm in that bad phase right now where it's like time again. I really need to see him. It gets really difficult sometimes, and you lose patience and you lose, you know, the courage, and you just want to meet him again, and it's really hard. But I guess FaceTime is the answer to that. That's how we go so long without seeing each other. If FaceTime didn't exist, I don't know what we would have done. But yeah, it's definitely difficult, but we help each other, we push each other, so it's pretty good. What's your best memory with your fiance? Considering the small time we've spent together, my best memory with him, honestly, I wouldn't even say it's like something that I've done for him or he's done for me. My best memories with him is when we're just straight up just chilling, when we're like not out somewhere, when we're at home. Like I'm in my PJs, got my hair in my bun, no makeup, nothing, and he's just chilling in his trackies, and we're just like eating, sitting down, gossiping. I find that the best time with him. I'm not a going out kind of person, even though I do enjoy going out with him, but my favorite time with him is when I'm just sitting down and just talking and gossiping and just eating ice cream, pizzas, junk food. I love it. Even though he doesn't do it much, but the times he does, it's amazing. I love it. So another interesting question is, do you ever fight with your fiance? If yes, why and when? We are an extremely ordinary couple. Like we're not anything special, or we're not, well, we are special. He's special. But we're not like a super special couple that never fights, never argues. But I must say, we used to argue like cats and dogs in the first year to 2 years, maybe even, yeah. First half of our relationship, we used to fight a lot because we had a lot of differences we had to overcome with our time difference and our distance and all that. So we used to fight a lot then, and now, without jinxing anything, we have been so good. Like considering we're in a long distance relationship and considering all the misunderstandings that can happen, miscommunication that can happen because of the gap, we have been so good. I have seen that little boy grow into a man so fast, so quick. I hope it's because of the support I've given him and his family and my family. He has grown up to be such a beautiful man, and he knows his roles, he knows his responsibilities, he knows his limits, and that has really helped us in our relationship. And we don't really argue much anymore. And if we ever do, it's always about like a third entity or a third issue, not something between us. which, yeah, it sucks still, but it's great that it's not something that we fight about each other, or you did this or you did that. It's more about like a third topic. So I'm really happy about that, and it's just made life so much easier. I guess we both matured together, and it's just been great, touch wood. The next question is, who apologizes first between you and your fiance? Now, like I said before, he used to fight a lot with me, or I used to fight a lot with him, whatever, however you want to say it. And I used to always be the one to apologize first, because he was like a bit immature, and like his ego was like peaking. You know, little boys, when they're growing up, they have an ego. But lately it's just been mutual. Like, he apologizes sometimes, I apologize sometimes, and it's just so good now that, like, when a relationship gets to that equal point where you're not like, no one thinks they're higher, no one thinks they're better, you're just equals. It's such a beautiful place, and just we both just apologize, or sometimes we don't even make it a big deal. We just get over it, so it's pretty cool. So the next Himanshu related question is, what is the most annoying thing about Himanshu? I love this question. This question is beautiful. The most annoying thing about him is that he just doesn't listen to me. I think I've mentioned this before as well. But at the end of everything, he'll end up doing what I said in the first place. So for example, if he needs to eat something, I'll be like, why don't you eat, for example, a sandwich? He'll be like, no, I don't feel like eating a sandwich. And then after like 45 minutes of him thinking and planning and doing all this, he'll end up eating a sandwich anyway. So he'll like eat my mind, waste time, argue with me, not listen to me, or for just listening to me anyway. Like, I tell him all the time, like, just, I'm about to be your wife, like, you might as well just give up and listen to me. Like, you'll be happy, you'll save time, save effort, save money. And yeah, I just feel like it's time. Babe, if you're watching this, just start listening to me, please. It's high time. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on to the category of my family and Sydney. Okay, so that's also another big category that I need to cover. So one question to start off this category is, other than your friends and family, what's the one thing you're going to miss the most after you move to Delhi? P.S. I'm from Melbourne, would love for you to do a meet and greet. That's very sweet. I would love to do a meet and greet in Melbourne. I personally love Melbourne, it's a beautiful city. Yeah, so other than my family and friends, I will miss the city here. Like, I will miss the views here, I will miss the atmosphere here, even though I love India so much. Like, I've always loved India, I've always preferred India over here. But now that I'm grown up and now that I'm actually moving, I spent 2 months in India last year and this year, so December, January, and I realized that I will miss Sydney a lot more than I think I will. Like, just the atmosphere and the open skies and the fresh air and the tall buildings and the city life. Like, that's what I'll miss, because I'm a uni student, so I'm always in the city. I'm always, you know, just right in the center of all the craziness, and I will really, really miss that about Sydney. So the next question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? So in 10 years from now, I will be around 32, 33. That is really creepy. Oh my God. So when I am that age, I see myself having plenty of kids. I see myself living a very happy married life. I see myself having a high position in like the teaching field, and I see having a successful YouTube career as well. So those are the 4 main things I see. Will you work after getting married apart from YouTube? Now, I am moving from not just another city to another city. I'm moving from another country across the world to another country. So my goal is to definitely work, because I have worked really hard for the degree I will be getting. And it's not easy. A lot of my friends dropped out of this course because it was so difficult. And the only ones that made it till the end are me and Stephanie, and we started off with a huge group. So there's only 2 people that made it out of like a lot of girls. So it was really difficult to get to where I am today, and I'm really proud of myself. So I don't think I'll be letting this go too easy. I definitely want to do something in the teaching field. Not too sure what yet, or I have had a few discussions with a few people, but yeah, it's either going to be something like really extravagant or nothing at all. So we'll see how that goes. So the next question is, how many tattoos do you have? So at the very moment, and I think I'm done with my tattoos, don't take my word for it, tattoos is very, getting tattoos is very spontaneous. So at the moment I have 3 tattoos. I have one moon over here. I love this tattoo. I have my fiance's name on my wrist over here. I got this when he came for one of my birthday trips. It was my birthday, but he got the surprise. So, and I have Om Namah Shivaya written on my hand here. This was my first tattoo, this was my second tattoo, and this was my third tattoo. So yes, these are my tattoos. So I have a question asking me, can you tell us your experience on doing laser hair removal and is it worth it? So I've only really tried laser hair removal treatment on my underarms, and I've had about 8 to 9 sessions, and I really liked it. Apart from it being a little bit painful in the moment, it's not painful afterwards, it's only just painful in the moment. Apart from that, it's been a fabulous experience. I really liked it. My hair growth is like close to nothing at the moment, and if there is a little bit of hair growth, it's super fine. You can barely see it, and it's just, I feel if it's more cleaner, the area, because I don't shave and I don't wax, and yeah, I'm loving it. It's barely grows back. One of the questions is, when are you coming to Delhi next? So I will be coming to Delhi next for my wedding trip. It's so exciting. The fact that I won't be having a holiday in between, it's like scaring me a little bit, because I won't have time to like have a, you know, shopping trip. It's just going to be going for my wedding, but I will be going a few weeks before my wedding, so hopefully I'll have enough time to do the shopping. But yeah, apart from that, my next trip won't be a trip, it'll be a permanent move. So the next question is, what's one thing you can't live without? Except Himanshu. Very funny. So one thing I can't live without will definitely, like I can't think of anything else, will definitely have to be my mum. I reckon it'll be really hard to live without my mum. I have no clue how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a mission 101 for my fiance to distract me every day for the rest of my life. So this is a really cute question. The question is, what was your reaction when you found out your sister was pregnant with Jeb? So this was a really funny story. Well, not really funny, but I was at home. I was meant to go to uni that day, but I stayed home for some weird reason. And I was just sitting up here on this couch, exactly where I am right now, and I was watching TV, and my mom was downstairs. She was praying downstairs in her room, and the home phone rings, and I went and picked it up, and it was my sister, and she sounded really like flustered, and she was like, hey, what are you doing at home? And I was just like, I'm at home today. And she's like, I have to tell you something. And she just started crying, and I thought something bad happened. I was freaking out, and she wasn't speaking, and she was only crying. I'm like, can you tell me what happened? You're scaring me. And she was like, I just got off the phone to the doctor. And then she started crying again, and I was like, oh my god, like what's wrong with her? Do you have an illness? Like, what is happening? And she's like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, as soon as I heard that, I started crying. So we're both sitting here crying. My mum heard me from downstairs, so she ran up, and she's like, what happened? And she saw me on the phone crying and like sobbing, and she thought something bad happened. And I was like, nothing bad's happened. And she's like, what happened? What happened? And I didn't really want to be the one telling her that my sister's pregnant, so I just gave her the phone, and I think that created more suspense. So my mom's just like, why are you not telling me? And I was just like, just listen, just listen. So then I gave my mom the phone, and my sister told my mom, and it was all very emotional. And yeah, we were emotional wreck that day, but it was by far the best day of my life, because that kid, I tell you, he is my soul. So the next question is, why did you become a teacher? Did you always want to do it, or you changed it? If so, tell me what your first professional choice was and why you didn't pursue it. So I never really knew what to do with my life. Even after my final exams, year 12 exams, I still didn't know. I got my results, and I still didn't know what I was going to do in my life. So if you don't know as yet, don't worry. Like there's really no rush. Like life has a plan, and you'll be fine. Just don't stress. When I got my results and everything, I was just contemplating and thinking, you know, what what can I do, what do I not want to do. And I knew I didn't really want to go in the field of business. Like people that just don't know what to do, they sometimes just say, oh, you know, I'll just do business. But I feel like you shouldn't settle. Instead of settling, take your time, think about what you want to do, and then, you know, pursue it. So I thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to do something that like I might not be good at, but I just have to do, like law or medicine or something like that. I want to do something that I'm good at, something that I love, so it doesn't feel like a job when I have to do it every day for the rest of my life. I was like, what better way than becoming a teacher? Because I love kids, and for some reason kids love me. We get along really well, and I was like, teaching is like the best profession for me. So that's how I did it. And I didn't really think of anything else before that, except when I was younger. Obviously modeling was a big thing for me. I always wanted to pursue that, and I also wanted to do something with like fashion. I wanted to be like a stylist, and when I did a bit more research on styling, I found out that you should do like fashion designing in order to become a stylist. And I was like, I don't really want to design clothes, I just want to style people. And then it was just too complicated, and I was like, no, let me just stick to what I'm good at and not what I want to do. There's a really big difference between what you want to do and what you're good at. You should always do what you're good at, because then every day will be super easy for you. So I have a really interesting question from one of my Insta girls who talks to me in DMs. I see you, girl. So as you were growing up, did you always sort of know where and what you wanted to be in life, whether that be choosing the right career, personal life decisions, etc.? Or did you mostly take one day at a time and see where life took you? Now, I wasn't a really big planner in life. Like, I wasn't like determined enough to say, this is what I want by this age, or this is what I want to do in life or personal life, whatever. I was more like exactly what she said, more take the day as it comes, because I feel like I really believe in what's meant to happen will happen. So I feel like even if you try super hard in doing something, it might not work if it's not destined for you. So I really took life as it could, and when I saw that my life is leading me in a specific way, that's where I put the effort in, and that's where I really gave my 100%, and it really worked out for me in a sense, because obviously like I'm here, I'm where I'm at right now. But I just feel like you shouldn't force anything in life. It's every time I've done that, it hasn't been good for me. So I learned in a very young age, don't force anything, just let life go, and everything will happen and everything will fall into place. The more you try and hold on to things, the more it falls apart. So I really just took life day by day. What is the one advice you live by, and who gave it to you? So the one advice, or you could say quote advice or whatever, is this beautiful quote. I don't know who invented it, I don't know where it's from, but it's, "This too shall pass." This quote has gotten me through good times, through bad times, through just every day. Just thinking about, if you're going through a really bad time in your life, and just if you think that this too shall pass, it'll just really get you through it. Like, there will be a day where you wake up and this problem won't matter to you. So that's really like inspiring to me. Every time I'm going through a really rough patch in life, I just think that, you know what, one day I'll wake up and it won't matter. So that quote really goes in bad times, and it goes in good times as well. When I'm in a really happy time, I always pause myself and think, okay, this too will pass, so make the most of it, be happy, smile, take photos, you know, use the moment. Because sometimes when we're really happy, we kind of get carried away and take it for granted. But this quote really, again, brings me back, grounds me, and says, look, make use of this moment. It's not gonna be there forever. So that quote has really gotten me through a lot of things in life, and yeah, I'm thinking of getting it tattooed on me too, but not sure yet. This is a really interesting question about me moving to India. So it says, growing up in Sydney all your life, it must be the toughest decision to move to Delhi post your wedding. How do you mentally prepare yourself for this shift? To leave everything you have known all your life, your surroundings, unsettle, and move to a place, though it's your motherland and closer to your love. That is very true. Even though it is my motherland, and even though I'll be close to my love, it's still very hard to move. And as far as it comes to mentally preparing myself, I don't think I have yet, because if I mentally prepare myself now, I think it'll be harder for me for when the time comes. I just want to, again, take the day as it comes. I don't want to dwell on anything. I don't want to stress too much about everything. And I even talk about it with my fiance that like, I don't really know what's coming my way. Like it really hasn't hit me yet that I'm going to be moving, and I don't really want it to hit me yet. I want it to just happen when it happens. So I just take my baggage with me, literally and like metaphorically as well. I just want to take it with me. I don't want to sit and dwell, because the little months I have left in Sydney with my family, I just want to enjoy them. I don't want to really be sad. I want to enjoy it and make the most of it, instead of thinking, oh, I have to go, I have to go. Even though those thoughts do come in my mind sometimes and it makes me really sad, but I try not to dwell too much over it, because it's just gonna make it worse. So I'm gonna take the day as it comes, and when it's time for me to move, I'll mentally prepare myself and I'll be out. So I'm just gonna take it as it comes. There's not much I can do. Who are you closest to in Australia, in your family? Now, a lot of people are going to get offended on this question in my family, sisters. But I think I am the closest to my mother. We're just attached by the hip. Like, I feel like she's my twin sister, just in a form of a mother. We're so similar. We're literally the same person. Like, I don't understand how two people can be the same, think the same, look the same, act the same, speak the same. Like, it's freaky to a point where our family members like say we have the same aura. Like, if my mum is in the room, people will feel like I'm in the room, and when I'm in the room, people will feel my mum is in the room. My grandfather used to say that as well. So we like have the same aura as well, according to people. So that's just weird. But yeah, I'm most attached to her. So yes, if that answers your question. So my camera is now flashing. I'm gonna have to be super quick and answer the rest of the questions. I have this sweet little girl, and I'm pretty sure this is the girl I met at the Easter show. So I remember you, I recognize you. Her question was, what high school did I go to? I'm guessing you're a fellow Sydney citizen. I went to Olsh College in Kensington. That is near University of New South Wales. You probably don't know it if you live in the West, but if you live in the East, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Someone has asked me my favorite holiday destination. Now, come on guys, you know I'm gonna be biased. Dilly da. I also got a lot of questions about long distance relationships and my advice for long distance relationships. The only advice, I've actually made a video of our love story video. I've given a lot of advice in that about long distance relationships, and pretty much just a summary: patience, trust, positivity, and a lot of communication. Doesn't matter about your time difference, doesn't matter about anything. You need to take time out and communicate with each other, because it's the only way you'll be able to, you know, calm each other down and, you know, just support each other or anything. And main thing is being honest and having trust, because without those two things, no relationship is successful. So that pretty much summarizes my Q&A video. That must have been a long one, I'm sorry, but I wanted to answer as many questions as I can. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit it a thumbs up. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of interactive Q&A video, and I'll make plenty of more in the future. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more future videos. Bye guys.